Unanswered questions about Michael f***ing Myers.
Number 1. Who is chasing Jamie in the car? Is it Michael? You would probably assume yes. But if that's the case, who is with him? For some reason, this caught my eye because I had to do a double take on what the hell just happened. There was somebody else in the passenger seat. This being the producer's cut, I can only assume that this is one of the cult followers, or a few of them. All this time, I thought it was Michael. The way this is edited, the audience would interpret this as Michael, since Michael is the one chasing Jamie. If that's Michael, who's with him? Is it Dr. Wynn? Is Michael in a completely different vehicle? It's a pretty interesting note to see, because Michael shows up on the scene first in the barn, right? So where's the other person? If that wasn't Michael, where did the cult members go? Can't say they didn't see him. I mean, they practically ran Jamie off the road into the pumpkin patch. Just one more thing to add to the mysteries of this movie. For those who don't know my opinion on Halloween 6, either version, producers, theatrical, really doesn't matter. I have a really soft spot for it. I love the film. I love the movie. I hate the cult aspect. I think it's kind of dumb. And these are the reasons why. Again, if we're not breaking the fourth wall of bad writing and bad production, staying solely inside this universe, we see two people in that van. Was it Michael? Was it not Michael? Was they chasing down Jamie so Michael could carry out the kill? I don't know. We're getting too convoluted here. Let's move on.
Number 2.
One of the biggest questions I had, how the F word does Deborah not know that they are in the Myers house? This is one of the things that really pisses me off in horror sequels. They have to tell the backstory over and over and over. And it's always this nonsense character of like, oh my God, this is really the Myers house? Or oh my God, this is really Camp Crystal Lake? I never heard of Jason before. I never heard of Michael Myers before. Bitch, at the start of the movie, teenagers are vandalizing your house with Michael Myers mask and fake blood saying he's coming. Not only that, you mean to tell me you married into the Strode family and have no idea what happened to Haddonfield in 1978 when Michael Myers escaped from the sanitarium, butchered all those teenagers, and that was after he killed his sister in 1963. He came back 10 years later, butchered a whole bunch of more teenagers, completely fucking obliterated the police station, came back again a year later, slaughtered a whole bunch of more teenagers, obliterated the police station again, and here we are 6 years later. But yet, regardless of Michael Myers doing all of that in Haddonfield, despite Michael Myers not being the most notorious serial killer in United States history, that's said in the film by the way, this bitch still doesn't know that this is the Myers house. All love to the actress, but if you're really that fucking stupid, you deserve what happened to you. And just to rant about this woman just a little bit more, look at this picture right here. Maybe this chick is the damn psychopath. Who leaves kitchen knives straight up like that? Who are you, Billy Loomis's mom? There's also this really interesting scene right here where after Deborah gets offed, Danny sees the man in black across the street. That startles him, then he runs into Tommy, okay? But as Kara's walking home, it looks like the same exact van is parked outside of the Myers house, as you can see right here. If that's the case, then what was the man in black doing? Now, whoever this man in black is, which we all know is Dr. Wynn, but in this particular instance, this is not Dr. Wynn. At this time, he's at the hospital with Dr. Loomis. It is literally impossible for Dr. Wynn to be here. So I'm assuming this is one of the cult members helping Michael Myers clean up the crime scene, which is something I kind of touched on in Halloween 5. I mean, I think that's the whole purpose of Halloween 5 with the man in black angle, because it all makes sense now. But I just thought that was a really cool aspect of how the producer's cut show these little things like that to help further the story. And sometimes it doesn't help further the story. Sometimes it just makes everything convoluted. But in this particular instance, I think it's a pretty nice touch. A bonus question I have about this is, where is the baby? When Danny walks into Tommy, he doesn't have the baby. Now, we can only assume that he would leave it with the old lady, Mrs. Blankenship. But we then find out that she is a cult member. So why not take the baby right then and there? Again, these little details always doesn't help further the story. And I think in this scene with the van, I think it does pique interest in the audience if you catch it. But the whole baby angle, it's like, what the fuck we doing?
Number 3.
How did Nurse Mary get the baby? And where is Michael and Dr. Wynn and or any of the cult members during this time? Now, we know from the start of the movie, this baby is important. It's going to be sacrificial, whether this curse is being passed down to this baby, or if Danny's supposed to be the one to have the curse. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But it doesn't make any sense from Michael, Dr. Wynn, and all of them cult members that reside down there like little fucking hermits are going to take their eyes off this baby? Now, maybe Mary is the nurse of the cult, right? Which gives her proper supervision of carrying the baby, taking care of it, especially directly after it was born. It will make sense to have somebody there to have those qualifications to make sure the baby is okay. But was Mary forced into this situation? Why give Jamie the baby? Why are you there in the first place? If you're going to explain the cult aspect, these are pretty hefty questions that are still left unanswered. Why would she betray the cult, risk her life to give the baby to Jamie, knowing there's going to be retaliation? Probably Michael Myers coming to slice and dice your ass. So chat, what do you think? How did she do it?
Number 4, chill.
Now, I wasn't going to mention this one. I try to stay clear of the heavy-hitting questions everybody else asks and try to stay unique with it. But this one, I just could not overlook. Because how fucking dumb this is. How does nobody in that bus station see all that blood? Do you see that blood trail falling to where the baby is? Look real closely. This blood hasn't even dried yet. It's still freshly pulled. Now, blood doesn't take long to dry. Trust me, I know. And that's not to mention how nobody noticed the baby in the sink cabinet in the bathroom. But I digress. It is what it is. But people went back and reshot these things to change the story and to fill in some gaps. Why not make this one of them? And I'm not breaking the fourth wall here. How did nobody inside that bus station see all that blood? I mean, nobody. They got worse eyesight than I do. And if I do this, I'm fucked. And I could still see that blood. Number 5. How does this dipshit not know that he lives inside the Myers house? I do not care that you moved in less than a week ago, bro. This is Halloween now. Your girlfriend knows that you live in a Myers house. That never came up in conversation. You're a fucking simp for Barry, who also knows you live inside the Myers house. Do you know who else knows you live inside the Myers house? Everybody in fucking Haddonfield. Everybody in the United States. Probably worldwide. And you're gonna tell your girlfriend, chill out, bro. I really didn't know I lived in a Myers house. Motherfucker, you're pissing me off.
Number 6.
Why wait to kill Jamie? It is not Michael's MO to leave survivors. Sure, Michael has suffered some defeats in the past. That's gonna happen. You gotta have your final girl in a movie. But when Michael stabs Jamie, does he really think that one stab is gonna do justice? Did he not actually mean to kill her just to injure her? He just like, well, whatever happens, happens. To follow this up further, as Jamie's laying there dying, we know that the cult members went back and burned the Thorn symbol and the hay bales. If they wanted Jamie dead, why wait? Not only did you have Michael, did Michael burn the Thorn symbol? I don't see Michael doing that. Again, we established that Michael was not alone in chasing Jamie. So there was at least one more, if not 2 more. But this is after the fact. If you're going to kill her later in the hospital anyway, just do the job right here. Surely Dr. Wynn has to be an intelligent man, right? He's a doctor. And since he is behind this whole facade of the man in black, you would think if Jamie woke up in the hospital that she would spill the beans on who he is. Dr. Wynn would be exposed. The cult would be exposed. Why take that chance? After she was stabbed, somebody went back to the barn and burned the symbol. So if you're gonna kill Jamie, why wait? That goes for Michael too. And Michael is vicious in this movie. Jamie kinda got off easy in this version of the movie. Now in the theatrical version, he gave her the ham hocks, with that machine. That was brutal. If they're gonna kill Jamie anyway, why wait? You had not 1, but 2 chances to do it. Yep, number 7. How is this washing machine running without power? Now the whole house is out of power, but yet when John goes down to the basement, the washing machine is working. So not only did that washing machine not work earlier when Deborah tried it, but now it's working without power. What? So my only instance here is Michael ran this big ass extension cord outside somewhere, and he's like, you know what? I'm really gonna fuck with John here. Could you imagine Michael taking all of this time to set up this elaborate prank to be like, hey, I'm gonna put all these bloody sheets in there. Even though I cut the power, he's gonna freak out, but when he comes downstairs and he hears that ding, 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 when he opens it up, he's gonna be like, oh my God. And then I'm gonna pop out, I'm gonna make my kill. But in order to do that, I have to run this long ass extension cord from here to the Blankenship house. I'll just plug it around back on the porch. Nobody's ever gonna know about it. This is awesome. What? That's the only way to explain it. The only other explanation there is there's a hole in the wall behind we can't see, and Michael's just like, bing, 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 bing. I bet he's like, God damn, John, hurry up. Beep, 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 beep. Forget logic, right? Number 8. Now, this is a small one. What happened to Loomis's manuscript?
I've buried the ghosts. I buried them in this manuscript. I don't want to practice medicine anymore.
Now, unfortunately, we know what happened with Donald Pleasance. He sadly passed away. Wherever this timeline goes, we would never find out anyway. But for whatever reason, there was one more movie with Donald Pleasance. Whether it took place from the producer's cut or the theatrical cut. What happened to his manuscript? Now, the reason to me this small detail is so important, this manuscript is basically going to be his autobiography, right? We know what Loomis is all about, Michael. However, take in mind, Loomis has 15 years worth of material about Michael to give us. I'm sure he had other patients as well, not just Michael. To have that detail and material one day would really bring light to a lot of the atmosphere and lore of Haddonfield and Halloween. I mean, it would make a great TV series, The Loomis Tapes, or something like that, you know? What Loomis's life was like before Michael, during Michael, his relationships, what Smith's Grove Sanitarium was really like. Was there other patients like Michael? This being the Thorn timeline, I'm going to go back to what I referenced in the Halloween 4 video, where there is something very mysterious and sinister and supernatural going on in this universe. It's not just Michael. Now, I would never say Michael shouldn't be the star of the show wherever this goes, but maybe Dr. Loomis can enlighten that through his autobiography, through his manuscript. Because to me, Dr. Loomis and Michael Myers is like Batman and the Joker. In some weird way, they're always supposed to interact. They're always destined to be against each other. And since Loomis is no longer here to tell the story, the only thing we got left, ladies and gentlemen, is his manuscript. Or if you want to take it a step further, since this is the producer's cut, Loomis is now Michael's guardian. He is now the leader of the cult. Is that going to change his mentality? What does this mean for Michael? What does that mean for Loomis?
Number 9.
And 10. I'm going to group these together because my number 9 was, what is the point of the Thorn curse? And my number 10 is Michael done? So instead of dividing the two, let's home in on both of these and just talk about from front to back. What is the point of the Thorn curse? Now, the producer's cut really does a shitty job of explaining what the hell's going on. So according to Dr. Wynn, the Thorn curse is all about maintaining balance. They do it to prevent war, famine, the Great Plague, and Wynn's ultimate goal is to have Dr. Loomis as Michael's new guardian. But here's where I find the whole situation collapsing on itself. What is the point of the baby? Now, is the baby supposed to be the new evil? Is Michael supposed to pass the curse on to this baby? Or is this baby supposed to be sacrificed? Either way doesn't make sense to me because, for one, if the baby is sacrificed, that completely eliminates the whole idea of Halloween 5 and Halloween 4. That completely eliminates the whole purpose of keeping Jamie alive in the first place. If she is the last of Michael's family, just kill her. Be done with it. But if you have to have that baby, see what I'm saying? You don't have to go that whole, oh, Michael's the father kind of deal. I mean, that's another conversation in itself. But then there's the Danny angle. Has been almost influenced by Dr. Wynn, aka the Man in Black, to kill for him. So is it the baby's ultimate destiny to take this curse, or is it Danny's? Because this kind of evil, there's not room for two. But the biggest situation here, which works into my number 10, is Michael Dunn. Does this mean now that Dr. Wynn has passed on the leadership role to Dr. Loomis, that Dr. Loomis is now Michael's protector? However, Michael didn't kill Wynn. Interesting, right? Does this mean that Michael hung up the mask? Because the stupid scene where Tommy puts those little tiny rocks down, he claims to destroy the evil of the Thorn inside Michael, right? So the evil is gone. So what does Michael do directly afterwards? He knocks Wynn out. He doesn't kill Wynn. He knocks Wynn out and swaps clothes with him. And the last shot that we see of the film is Michael Myers walking out, essentially a free man. The evil is no longer inside him. He leaves the mask behind. He leaves the coveralls behind. He's leaving the cult behind, Loomis behind, both literally and metaphorically. And that is the most interesting thing I never see pop up in any kind of forums, in any kind of movie reviews, because the next movie, Halloween H2O, isn't canon. So this last scene of Michael Myers walking away a free man, no longer evil, walking off into the darkness. What is Michael going to do next? Who is the next killer? Dr. Loomis has been appointed the new guardian, but to who? It can't be Michael. Because Michael no longer has the evil Thorn inside of him. Is it going to revert back to the baby, Michael's baby? Or is it going to resort to Danny? I've always wondered what is next for Michael and Loomis. Michael now being free of Thorn, is he going to go live life? Whether we talk about the producer's cut or the theatrical cut, we have two choices here. In the producer's cut, Michael Myers is walking away a free man. He no longer has the curse. He doesn't have to kill anymore. He left his mask behind. Again, he legit left everything behind and he's walking away a free man. He's like, I'm done. So we assume. We don't know if Michael is wired to still kill people. But the way he planned this all out, I honestly don't think so. I think he's done. But if we go towards the theatrical cut, the audience is led to believe that Michael finally kills Loomis, or at least attacks him. But again, we are here talking about the producer's cut. And as dumb as the cult angle is, and please bear with me when I say this, I'm not for this cult angle. I think it's stupid. I think it's punched in. But having to choose between Michael Myers walking away a free man, not knowing what's next for him, he's no longer a puppet for anybody. He's finally at free will, and his future is just a mystery, versus seeing Dr. Loomis die off screen. I'm gonna pick the producer's cut, simply because it actually ends the journey. It actually ends the timeline. As dumb as the idea was at the time, I still respect their decision to actually try to end this specific story. Seeing Michael on screen in these movies, Michael is as brutal as he has ever been. He looks great, but just imagine the ending that we got that nobody ever talks about. Yeah, the cult angle is stupid. I will never defend that. I think it's fucking dumb. But Michael Myers is finally walking away a free man. He spared Wynn. He's walking away from it all. He said, fuck the mask, fuck the knife, fuck the jumpsuit, fuck this hospital. To have Michael Myers finally walk away into the sunset, per se, at his own free will, and we would never know what comes of that. I do think it's one hell of an ending. I really do. Loomis is still alive. He's now the guardian of Michael. We don't know what Michael's going to do next. He's no longer evil. Is he still going to go Ted Bundy and kill everybody? Or is he finally going to live his life the way he wants to? But now it is Dr. Loomis's job to protect Michael at all costs. It's just really interesting and kind of fascinating if you think about it. But that's going to wrap this video up, guys. Thank you so much for taking part of your day to kick it with me. You know I appreciate it. I love you all. And until I see you next time on Halloween H2O 20 years later. Adios.